When all said and done, you should have an edit that looks something like this.
Well, look, I would say have fun, meet somebody new. Everybody in here is exceptional because I've vetted them, so they're good. And girls and guys, somebody might be like, let's get a coffee. Coffee might not mean coffee. It might mean they trying to holler. You know what I mean? But whatever. You got a name tag on, so you can like say coffee and then figure it out. People in here. There's some clients in here who got $30 million just chilling. There's some prospects in here who got $400 million just chilling. I'm not gonna tell y'all who they are because y'all will all be like, the guys will be on the girl like, hey, what's it? And the girls will be on the guy. I'm not gonna tell y'all who it is. I'm not gonna tell y'all. But there's like 10 of them in here who like, who got it like that,
So what you just saw is a fully edited event recap video that I shot for a business client of mine. And as part of my packages, I offer a teaser reel for clients to post on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. And today I'm going to teach you how to create your very own short form video. Let's get into it. If you don't know me, my name is Teddy. I'm an event cinematographer and founder of Captured by Culture Films, and I've created this channel to help any beginner videographer get better at the skill of video. So if you're looking to get better at the craft or eventually make this a profession, here's where I'll be your guide. So as a beginner videographer, I would create 2 separate edits for clients that usually require spending twice the amount of time to re-edit the same sequence until I figured out an easier workflow. And you're going to need 3 things first before you start. You're going to need a song choice, a sequence of select shots, and an already edited sequence with dialogue already included. As far as selecting music, your first step is auditioning your music cues to pick the song you're going to be using for your reel. For clients I work with, I tend to lean towards licensing platforms such as MusicBed and Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sound allows you to upload a montage of the various clips from your event, and it'll recommend songs that fit the style of that sequence. While MusicBed allows you to actually select trending songs from a particular music artist, and from that, they'll give you a list of songs that also fit that vibe. Now, I do have a beginner course that explains the process in detail of how I find music. You could always refer to that and come back to this video later. After you select a handful of tracks, you should audition them against one another by playing them over the montage. This helps you narrow down to find the best track for your reel, and once you select your perfect track, you can move on to setting the foundation of your edit. While most reels are similar in styles, with just a sequence of engaging shots, I learned that audio is just as important as visuals. So I start off with selecting several dialogue moments that tell a concise story of the event. I'll start by placing these moments as the hook and the outro of the recap video. I then mark the music cues for sections that have upbeats, downbeats, and crescendos. Knowing that allows me to place my dialogue on the bridge, and for big moments and crescendos, I can place the best and most impactful shots there. Now this is an intuitive process, so play around with placement as different music cues have different sections. Here's what it should look like for you. So I want to add. So in this part, I'd much rather put, hold on, let me cook. I'd much rather put this part in there. Yep. There you go. All right. I'm gonna try to put that part, and then this part right here. And then I know this part is. Now, if you happen to have multiple cameras capturing speeches, I suggest creating a new sequence where the shots are all synchronized. You can then use multicam editing to cycle between the shots as the dialogue plays. In this example, I use auto frame feature to track the subject and keep them in frame. This works best with footage shot in 4K. I'm gonna do the auto reframe here.
Oh, look, I would say have fun, meet somebody new. Everybody in here is exceptional because I've vetted them, so they're good.
Once you lay down this foundation, the next step is cutting your actual music. After locking in the dialogue section, I then cut the music down to real length using the markers I placed earlier. A music cue typically has an intro, an upbeat section, and a downbeat section, and an outro. A lot of beats repeat themselves, so you can edit the cue accordingly by cutting down the different sections to get to the moment you need. Cut that part here. Let me get right to where the track starts. So I think it's right here. There you go. Boom. So I'm gonna cut there. And I know that's where the beat is because when I was listening to it, that's when I made the cut. So I use the remix tool if I need to lengthen the dialogue section. If you can only get a track with lyrics, you can use the low pass filter to help bring out the dialogue at the moment you need. In this particular edit, I chose to start the hook with no music and I added the biggest moments at the very end. I sometimes add captions to give context of what's happening to make the viewer stop the scroll and invest in watching the entire reel. Try different styles until you figure out what works best for your particular event recap. The remaining part of the edit is just adding the clips according to the beats where I marked them. I tend to start with the vertical clips I didn't use for the full edit, then I add shots from the full edit. Shots that I think work best horizontally, I'll stack them, placing the B-roll on top and on bottom. All the others can be auto-framed accordingly to the style and placed to the beats as marked. I focus more on pacing at this point more than organizing. You can then add speed ramps, overlays, or any stylistic transitions you think would work best with your particular edit. The general rule of thumb is adding ambient sounds such as crowds, laughter, and speaking voices as layers, and then swooshes, risers, and hits to big moments during your transitions. Just little accents can make this edit a little bit more engaging. So in this video, I shared a behind the scenes look at my editing process of creating event recap reels. Starting with the full edit, I showed you how to condense the music cue to 1.5 minutes. We created a foundation using the dialogue as the hook and the outro. And lastly, we laid in all the select shots from the montage. This process should save you time in editing because you've already done the majority of the work with your full edit. If you're interested in seeing a full editing breakdown of how I edited the full event video, you can sign up to join my Kaizen Creative Community Group to get early access to my event videography mini course that teaches you all aspects of event filmmaking. I hope it helps. Until next time, peace.